It is semifinal Friday in Louisville, Kentucky in the ACC Championships. And what a matchup today. Valerie Cagle, both the freshman and the player of the year, taking on Keely Rochard, the pitcher of the year. Cagle both pitches and hits for Clemson, the #1 seed. Yep, Clemson, the regular season champion, and only its second season of playing softball, taking on Virginia Tech. And yesterday in the quarterfinals, it was Cagle with a complete game one-hitter as she mowed down Georgia Tech. Clemson getting that victory to advance to the semis. Keely Rochard against Notre Dame, a complete game for her as well. 7 strikeouts, which would be good for everybody else, but she is a #1 in the country in strikeouts. So Clemson and Virginia Tech getting ready to play now. When this is over, we'll go to Florida State and Duke. Duke winning its first ever ACC championship game in its 3rd try. And we welcome you to Louisville. Pam Ward along with former Arizona Wildcat Jenny Dalton-Hill, who won 3 national championships there. And boy, this is a dream of a pitching matchup, but the defense behind these pitchers is going to be crucial because you've got to figure not a lot of runs will be scored.
Defense wins ball games, but when a pitcher is throwing a ton of strikeouts, it's hard to stay engaged at times, and that's what we've seen in the defenses behind both of these squads. 38 errors for Clemson, 42 for Virginia Tech, and most of those errors coming up the middle at second and short.
And these two teams played during the regular season. Cagle took on Rochard once, and the Virginia Tech defense let down Rochard. And look at this matchup. Holy goodness, it's Valerie Cagle against Rochard. Nobody has more strikeouts in the entire country than Rochard. You're looking now at Cagle, both of them with 25 wins. That's in the top 3 in the country. And you couldn't ask for a better pitching matchup. Again, Rochard, the pitcher of the year. Cagle, the first time anyone in the ACC has won both freshman and player of the year in the same season. This is what Cagle will be looking at. Virginia Tech, 3rd in the league, hitting .295 as a team. Alexa Milius, who is DPing, had a very good quarterfinal against Notre Dame. Kelsey Brown really getting them started as their leadoff hitter, hitting just over 400. Kelsey has the best batting average in the history of any Virginia Tech Hokie career-wise. And yes, that Cameron Fagan is one of those Fagans, the 3 sisters who all played Division I softball, and now Cameron is the final one. And we get a good look now at Cagle in the circle. Just so impressive for this freshman from Yorktown, Virginia.
Cagle has done such a great job this year. She leads the ACC in wins and in saves, and then comes in second in a lot of those pitching categories behind Rochard, who we'll see today as well. Cagle, a power pitcher, can touch the low 70s with a fastball that runs down in the zone, then creates a lot of vertical separation with an off-speed rise, then just throws hitters off with 3 different speeds. Extremely difficult to find your timing as a hitter off of Cagle.
So let's see what Kelsey Brown can do. These two teams did meet 3 times in the regular season. Virginia Tech actually took 2 out of 3 games in that series. It was in the pod, which the ACC played at the beginning of the year in neutral sites. Kelsey Brown is a transfer from James Madison University, also in the state of Virginia. Cagle falls behind 2-0.
And there's that pitch in the bottom of the zone. Expect to see that fastball that just runs down all day long. She will fill the zone down at the knees. Very hard for a slapper running forward to catch up to that ball that just falls underneath their hands.
Brown has great speed, cut off by Bigham, and Kelsey Brown just flat out beat it out.
Well, and what a favorable hop. A slapper is trying to punch the ball into the ground, and with the kind of power that Cagle is giving from the circle, they just got to touch the top of the ball. Really benefited by that high hop, able to use her wheels down the line. Virginia Tech sets themselves up nicely.
And there you see Brown in that sprinter stance. She is 30 for 30 in stolen bases, and you saw JoJo Hyatt, the catcher for Clemson, pop up right away. You have to expect that she's going to be going.
Well, and typically you see a pitch out go up. That, to me, looked like a pitch out as she set up way off the plate, but that drop ball took her down into her crouch. Over there at first base, Kelsey Brown had 133 stolen bases in high school. Tons of speed.
Most stolen bases without being thrown out in a single season by any Hokie in history. She's only been thrown out twice in her career at Virginia Tech in 49 attempts. Now Cagle quickly behind 3-0 to Cameron Fagan. Four-pitch walk puts the first two on for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, this is not a good start for Cagle. That'll give her a little visit from Kyle Jamison, who was actually on with Team USA with Coach Rittman. That was how they became associated with one another. But Cagle's known to fill the bottom of the zone. She cannot be afraid to attack these hitters. And that's the conversation going on in the circle. They trust her. They're going to rely on her throughout this game, but she's got to bring that drop ball up to the knees. But check out the last out of the game yesterday. She got hit in the thigh, and we saw her come off the field with a little bit more emotion than what we are used to seeing out of Cagle. And you wonder, is that front leg, the plant leg that she's trying to drive into, is that giving her a problem that's not allowing her to get over top of that drop ball, and it's just falling a little bit low?
Milius, who we highlighted in the starting lineup, is a transfer from Central Connecticut, which is in New Britain, Connecticut. That's near Hartford, capital city. And a chance for Milius to do some damage. She had a couple of hits against Notre Dame yesterday, drove in a run. Six straight balls now thrown by Cagle. Make it 7. Yeah, she just does not look like herself. Usually she's a really good strikeout to walk ratio. Bigham comes over to have a chat. Well, 227 strikeouts on the season and only 44 walks. 45 now. Milius taken all the way. Three-1 with 2 on. Milius up the middle. Can they turn 2? No. Runners on the corners now with 1 away.
And I like that approach by Gilstrap over there at short. Sharply hit ball a little bit farther away from second base than what you want to be able to take it yourself. But I appreciate the fact that she eliminates a transfer from her over to Pereira, takes it herself, but just not enough on the throw to get the double play. So with runners on the corners, expect to see some movement. Milius down the line, runs really well, has 2 stolen bases on the year. Expect to see some movement for her.
And Jamie Bailey trying to get the bunt down, possible squeeze. Milius was able to go to second.
So we know that Cagle will fill the bottom of the zone, but she also will go up in the zone as well. Really nice rise ball, gets Jamie Bailey to swing. Bailey, however, one of those gritty hitters, an 0-2 count will not faze her.
Got her on 3 pitches. Huge strikeout for Cagle.
Well, and to be able to change speeds, we know Cagle loves to be able to use a mix of speeds. Comes in just under the hands of Bailey. Really perfect spot in terms of a pitcher's pitch, and she's able to throw that because she was ahead in the count.
2 away. Here's Kelsey Bennett. Second team All ACC performer. Held hitless yesterday. But a chance with 2 runners in scoring position. Brown over at third, Milius at second.
And you'll notice that Cagle's able to use her legs so much more because of that rule change we saw a couple of years ago where pitchers do not have to have both feet on the rubber. So she starts with a very split stance, able to really drive off that back leg, move forward, get over the top of that drop ball. So hard to catch up to that ball as it breaks through the zone.
Fielded by Pereira, and Cagle gets out of it. Little shaky start. Strands 2. We'll see her hit when we come back. So we've already seen 1 ace with Cagle for Clemson. Now we go to the other, Keely Rochard getting the start for Virginia Tech.
Rochard, the pitcher of the year in the ACC, throws in the mid to upper 60s, a rise that climbs the ladder. She can start it low, throw it up into your eyes, but then a drop ball that hits at the knees and a really nasty changeup. 3 pitches, all commanded with consistency. One of the best strikeout pitchers in the country. She leads the country with those 295 season strikeouts.
And how about Cami Pereira yesterday? Only had 1 home run all season. And then she hit 2 solo shots. That's all they needed in the 2-0 win over Georgia Tech. All 3 of her home runs this year came against Georgia Tech. Rochard facing Mackenzie Clark to get things started for the Clemson Tigers. Clark is a true freshman. Got one of the hits yesterday against Georgia Tech. First team All ACC as a true freshman.
And when we talked to Coach John Rittman about his leadoff hitter, we talked about how she doesn't look like a typical leadoff. She hits from the right side, hits for power, has 9 home runs on the year. He said she may hit from the right side, but she can beat out an infield hit over there to the shortstop slot. Just a complete leadoff with can drag, tons of speed, but then power as well.
She does have 9 home runs on the season. John Rittman on the right, started this program, hired in 2017. And here they are, ACC regular season champs in only their 2nd year of competition. Rochard trying to get a call on the inside corner, Don Brown calling balls and strikes this afternoon.
Well, and that is a beautiful spot. I would be begging for that one as a pitcher as well. Down there in the river, just trying to nip the corner, misses it, but she will try to go back to that and show her consistency to grab that call as the game goes on.
Took a little off that pitch, and now the count goes full to the first batter she's faced. Keely Rochard, 295 strikeouts, only 55 walks. That's plus 245 in that ratio. Not bad. Got her swinging.
make it 296. That is a great first outing for Rochard in this one. A really difficult hitter in Mackenzie Clark, who does not strike out very much with a ton of speed. Such a great strikeout for Virginia Tech to keep her off the bases.
You see, those are national ranks for Keely Rochard. Nobody has more strikeouts in the entire country.
Well, and look at her already making our graphic not correct. Those strikeouts, strikes out the first batter, so she just ups her advantage in that ranking. The next closest pitcher to her is actually Gabby Plain at Washington, who has 293 coming into today.
Very close. Playing the Australian, playing out west. Here's Ansley Gilstrap, who is the shortstop for this Tiger team, a grad student, played 3 years at South Carolina Upstate, and the only Clemson Tiger with any NCAA tournament experience. Got there with SC Upstate. First team All-Atlantic Sun performer when she played, and came over to Clemson. Made third team ACC this year.
This Clemson team, the very first time they've ever gone to postseason. Last year, their first year in existence, but that year cut short because of COVID. So this is their first time with this kind of pressure as they enter this championship tournament to try to back up their regular season championship.
And another full count. Rochard went full to Clark before she struck her out. Now has done the same with Gilstrap.
That's a great swing on a really bad pitch. I mean, it's a great pitcher's pitch, but up in your eyes, you've got to attack that one by keeping your hands high. That's an impressive battle to be able to stay alive in that one. I would have swung and missed, so kudos to Gilstrap to be able to catch up to that rise ball.
Gilstrap fights off another one. And you might have noticed Mackenzie Lauder behind the plate giving signals. Yes, Mackenzie Lauder calls her own game. You hardly ever see this anymore, where the pitches aren't signaled in from the dugout.
Well, and when it comes to that, it's not just Lauder calling it. It's a joint effort between her and Rochard. We asked Coach about that, and he said, yeah, we trust them. We phased it in this year, and we know that they can get it done. They feel the heartbeat of the game.
And on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, Gilstrap draws the walk.
And that's a quality at-bat. To be able to come up with that kind of walk after falling behind in the count sets yourself up really nicely for the perennial power. Or I can't even call it perennial. She's still just a freshman. But for her to be able to step up, Valerie Cagle, not only the player of the year, but freshman of the year as well in the ACC.
Now, she did play last year, and that shortened season, one swing. That's what you want if you're Virginia Tech. Bennett goes out and gets her on one pitch from Rochard.
And that actually is a really good pitch to hit. It's a little bit elevated in the zone, and knowing the kind of power that Cagle has, she has 14 home runs, leads the team in that power category, but just gets underneath it a little bit. She'll learn from that at bat, and it'll be a little bit different when she sees Rochard next time.
Yeah, I think she's going to wish she had that swing back. She does have 14 home runs, second in the ACC. Marissa Gombarda is the DP for this ball club, first team all-conference. She is a transfer from Furman Tigers have a couple of starters. Pereira also transferred from, actually three. Bigham, Pereira, and Gambarda all transferred from Furman to come in. What kind of pitch was that?
Well, it's a changeup, but it looked like Lauder was expecting a rise ball because as it came out of the hand of Rochard, she kind of came out of her legs. So I don't know if she thought that was supposed to be a rise ball, but they're the ones calling the game. There should be no mistake as to what's coming in.
1-2. Rochard ends the inning. So a couple of full counts to the first two batters, gives up a walk, but no damage, scoreless after one. ACC honors given out, and as you see, Valerie Cagle, the starting pitcher and also hitting third, got the player and freshman of the year in the league. Nobody else has ever done that. Sydney Sherrill, for the second time, takes home Defensive Player of the Year for Florida State. We'll see her at our next game against Duke. Rochard, your pitcher of the year. And John Rittman, is there any doubt that he should be Coach of the Year, regular season champs in his first full season, building this program from scratch when he was hired in 2017?
Yeah, we saw him build the program with Teresa Wilson at Washington, found their way into the national championship game in 1996. So just a short 3 years after starting that program. And now here at Clemson, looking to try to get it done in the very first full season that they'll be able to play at Clemson.
They were 19-8 last year when things shut down. So gosh, that would have been something that they could have gotten into the NCAA tournament in their very first year. But certainly this program is on the fast track, already successful, and Cagle is one big reason why. Addie Green leading things off for Virginia Tech. Cagle a little bit shaky in that first inning.
She has settled down so nicely, but check out this check swing. They asked the third base umpire, Jim Cooper, what he sees. He saw the bat break the plane of the plate, so now she sits 0-2 in the count. But what a great comeback for Cagle. Look at that pitch. Beautiful inside drop ball. Lefty, hard to just come up on that one. Drops right under the hands of Logaleo. Drops right under the hands of Addie Green. That's a tough pitch to catch up to. The only way to get ahead of that drop ball is to move up in the box. But so far, we're seeing Virginia Tech sitting with their back foot on the back line, which makes you susceptible to that drop ball.
Last three hitters have had 6 swings and 6 misses, including Green on that drop ball to give Cagle her second strikeout. Emma Ritter, the right fielder, the number 7 hitter, freshman from Perryville, Maryland.
Well, and Pam, with how Cagle has come back out this half inning, I'm going to say that was just first inning jitters. As she came out, she had runners on second and third with just 1 out after 14 pitches, and now coming back in this one gets the strikeout to lead off the inning.
So 1 out with the first 14 pitches in that first inning, and then 2 outs on only 6 more pitches to get out of it. Cagle is a returning freshman, did play last year, coming back, but Coach Rittman talked about how she has worked with Kyle Jamison and developing her into a pitcher, a great thrower when she came in. Boy,
Ooh, that was nice.
Oh, that was a nice pitch.
She thinks so too.
Yeah,
I
Cagle's
love
like,
that little
I like
smile.
That one.
Yes, that was pretty on the outside corner, but as we sit in the game, we've got to make sure that we see if that strike zone can be consistently called. That'll be the key.
And you know what? That was a 2-ball count, so Ritter thought she had struck out. She was starting to walk back to the dugout. She even agreed that was a heck of a pitch. How about 14 strikes in Cagle's last 17 pitches? I'd say she's settled in all right. Ritter, very defensive swing. Cagle's a good athlete and gets her.
Well, and that is not an easy play to be made. When that came off the bat, it had a ton of English. It was hit off the very end of the bat because of that speed change. So that just shows you the kind of defense you'll be able to get out of the circle from Cagle.
And the catcher, Mackenzie Lauder. Hitless yesterday against Notre Dame. Cagle gets the call that time on the inside portion of the plate.
Man, that pitch is just so nice. It starts over the middle of the plate, comes in the river, but crosses the plate as a strike. And that's what we're seeing in these pitchers that are at the top of all their conferences, and then the ones that really shine nationally is their pitches don't hit spots. Their pitches move through the zone, and late hard break is the most effective, but you've got to make sure you have movement and speed change to be able to distract the hitter's eye. You want them to throw through the same tunnel so that out of the hand you can't tell what they are. We're seeing a lot of pitchers actually get rid of the rock back because that's actually where I would get tipped off to a lot of pitches. So we're seeing them hold it in the glove until they go to that arm circle over the top so they don't give anything away.
Oh, that's another nasty one. A couple of more strikeouts in that inning for Cagle. She's retired 5 in a row.
Talk about dominant. Valerie Cagle has settled down, was able to grab 2 strikeouts in that inning.
We got baseball coming your way tonight in Tallahassee, the opener of a big 3-game set between Clemson and Florida State starting at 6 Eastern, right here on the ACC network and the ESPN app.
How cool is this? I saw this on Twitter this morning. Clemson baseball on their bus watching the softball game yesterday as Clemson was taking on Georgia Tech in the quarterfinals. So much support all around their campus.
And that's awesome. And Florida State is going to play in the second game of our doubleheader today against Duke. And Leah Logaleo, the left fielder, leading things off for Clemson. Pam Ward and Jenny Dalton-Hill joining you on another perfect day for softball in Louisville. Clemson, the regular season champions. They've won 21 of their last 22 games in a scoreless duel. Keely Rochard on the mound in the circle for Tech. And Valerie Cagle, the freshman and player of the year, has settled in, and we're scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second. The winner of this game does get the winner of Duke, Florida State tomorrow at high noon on ESPN. Rochard misses again, falls behind 3-0. Gave up a walk in the first inning. Oh.
That's a really good spot. I don't know about that one, Pam. That one seemed to be just above the belt. A really nice rise ball out of the hand of Rochard. Gets under it, gets up in the zone. And I wonder if it's the drop down of the batter that made that ball look a little too high, but that's a really nice spot.
That's a 4-pitch walk to Logaleo to start things off. And here now is the deceptively powerful Cami Pereira. 2 home runs yesterday, solo shots against Georgia Tech, tripling her season output. One of those transfers from Furman. Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, no, my fault. When it comes to Cami Pereira, she was admitted to med school and didn't know if she should come back and play or not. But then when she caught COVID, it opened her eyes to what what life would be like without softball, she realized she didn't want it to be over yet, so came back. Just one of those unexpected blessings of COVID. We've seen them all over. A lot of times we dwell on the things that happened to us that were not so good, but another eye-opening experience for Pereira brought her back.
Quickly behind 0-2 to Rochard. She was able to defer getting into medical school, coming back, and I would think just what happened yesterday might have made it all worth it for Cammie. All of the offense. They only beat Georgia Tech 2-0. Blake Nelman had a no-hitter in her first game in this tournament, and then, if it wasn't for Pereira, I mean, she just pitched brilliantly in those 2 games. Throw down, Lauder on the money, but safe.
Really nice throw down to second base, right on the money. But Logaleo, super fast. Check out the lead. Takes a glance to make sure that she doesn't swing through. That's a tight one. Now remember, there is video replay in the ACC tournament. Over there at shortstop, Kelsey Bennett said, I don't know about that one. That looked pretty close. And so because how close it is, and video replay is allowed in this postseason tournament, that one will be under review. Both coaches have 2. I think she is safe. The tag's a little bit high on the leg. I think they get in. I think that's the right call out there by Phillip Friels at second base. But the play is under review. Both coaches get 2 challenges through the 6th inning. The call on the field is safe. And it has been confirmed. She is safe at second base. And what video replay does is it threatens to expose umpires, but what we're seeing is they've been really accurate in the things that they've been able to see in real time. We have the benefit of slowing things down and multiple angles. A really good call by Friels over there at second base.
So that means that Pete Demore and Virginia Tech have lost one of their 2 challenges. That should move the runner over, and it does. Pereira gets Logaleo over the 3rd.
Well, and she does her job. She hits behind the runner, and as a left-handed hitter, you just got to get around it to roll yourself a ground ball behind that lead runner. Does a really good job of getting now just 60 feet away for Clemson and a run.
Runs should be hard to come by in this game with these 2 pitchers. Here's Grace Matamore, the first baseman, number 7 hitter. Another transfer. Gets the bunt down, and it's not handled cleanly. The squeeze works. Logaleo gives Clemson the lead.
While the long ball is so fun to hit, when I was at Arizona, Coach Candrea always told us if you can get the squeeze down, you can win the tight ball games. And check this out. Ball up and in on the hands. Third baseman Cameron Fagan charging hard. Just goes under the glove. Great execution. When a squeeze play, your runner is in motion as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, so you have to get it down. Great execution by Grace Matamore. An amazing squeeze play and gets Clemson on the board.
Matamore gets an RBI with that bunt single, and they have scored on a walk, a steal, a ground out, a bunt, and a hit. Nothing's left the infield, and Clemson has taken the 1-0 lead. Great job by Matamore. Jaden Cheek comes in to run for Grace. Runner on first, still just 1 away for Casey Bigham. A tough play for Fagan coming in. I wonder even if she was able to field it cleanly, if she would have been able to get Logaleo.
I think she had a really, Pam. I think she had a really good shot of being able to get her. The problem is she took her eye off of it, knowing that there would be movement coming down the line. So Fagan, a really good defender, has been moved to third base because of that glove that she has. She's had some lower body injuries this year that have kept her range of motion in terms of lateral movement. They moved her from short to third. Very good defender, so not expected outcome for her over there at third. Just took her eye off of it the last second with the pressure coming down the line.
Yep, missed 15 games because of that lower body injury.
So check out the squeeze play one more time. Perfectly placed, gets it down the line, but it would have been a shuttle pass. It would have been a glove shuttle pass to home. And it was a little bit further away than what you typically see bunts being, but great job by Matamore to put it down, put the pressure on Virginia Tech early in this one.
Bigham just spoils that one, and we talked about it in the open, how important defense would be in this game when these two pitchers met face-to-face back in February. Keely Rochard lasted 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, but only one of them was earned. There were 3 Virginia Tech errors. Not that that was an error on Fagan, it was not, but just showing again how important the defense is when you have these two quality pitchers. That's hammered but foul. Their only head-to-head meeting. Virginia Tech took 2 of 3 during the regular season. They lost that game that Rochard pitched, and there you see it. 6 runs, 5 unearned. And we get matchup number 2 here this afternoon with a spot in the finals on the line. That's the 11th pitch that Clemson batters have fouled off against Rochard, and we're only in the 2nd inning. Keely threw 106 pitches yesterday in her 4-hit win over Notre Dame. Gave up 1 run. Throw down. That's in plenty of time to get Cheek, the pinch runner.
Well, and I can't emphasize enough how cool it is that Lauder and Rochard call this game themselves. That is a pitch out. Up and away, puts it in the perfect spot to be able to just come up. It is an easy throw down to second base to grab the pinch runner trying to advance. Great play behind the dish by Lauder.
So now nobody on with 2 away. Clemson taking the 1-0 lead. Lauder, we've seen that she's got a really good arm behind the plate. Here's the 8th pitch of this at-bat to Bigham. That's picked up by Lauder, foul.
Another change of speed. I mean, that was, you saw her stay in her legs that time, right? One of those other change-ups last inning, she came up and out of that crouch, but that's a perfect spot down in the zone. You always want to throw that change-up down near the knees. Great spot by Rochard.
Another full count.
Just so much speed change from pitch to pitch. Last one coming in at 49, that one at 72. As a hitter, you want to make sure you get that front foot down early, but it's hard when you know Rochard can mix speeds no matter the count.
It's the 3rd full count for Rochard in this game. Walked her. 2nd walk this inning, 3rd of the game for Keely Rochard.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing the walks coming out of the hand of Rochard. She leads the nation in strikeouts. She leads the ACC in 5 different pitching categories. Pitcher of the year in the ACC. So those free passes are definitely not what we're used to seeing out of the hand of Rochard.
Great at bat for Bigham. 10 pitches, work the walk. And here's the number 9 hitter, the catcher, JoJo Hyatt. Another returning freshman for Clemson. She started last year as a true freshman.
And Pam, one of the advantages of your pitcher and catcher calling the pitches is they're able to read the hitter in the box. What you're noticing about Hyatt is she's standing off the plate than a lot of the other batters that Clemson has sent to the plate. So it makes her a little bit more vulnerable to that outside pitch. Expect to see Rochard really fill that corner and drive it off that plate, perhaps extending the zone laterally out over into the river.
Another stolen base, Bigham. So 2 stolen bases this inning for Clemson and 1 caught stealing.
Well, and there's that lateral extension going out over the other side. Typically, a catcher will throw down to second base a little bit higher, so it gives the pitcher the cue that they're throwing through, but that one came in low. Rochard didn't get out of the way, and an easy stolen base. And we've seen some throwing hiccups back behind the dish by Lauder. She's overthrown or underthrown Rochard multiple times. In yesterday's game, we saw her do it actually in warm-ups before the first inning. So there have been some miscues back there behind the dish with the arm of Lauder.
2-2 pitch now with Bigham on second. And another full count. Fourth full count for Rochard. Pitch number 44 on the way, and we're only in the second inning.
And Rochard living on the outside corner against Hyatt. She's giving up that outside corner, or telling you by her stance in the box that that's where she actually wants you to throw it. Typically, you'll see a hitter that likes an inside pitch stand on the plate. But what this stance in the box tells me is she likes the ball outside.
Wow, that's the 3rd walk of the inning given up by Keely Rochard.
3rd walk of the inning, 4th walk of the game. She gives away that outside corner as a hitter, but that one up and out. Look at the reaction of Lauder behind the dish. Devastated that call is another walk for Rochard.
Lauder held her glove there for a while, and she didn't hear anything. And the exasperation, now the leadoff hitter, Mackenzie Clark, struck out swinging in her first at bat. It's the 6th Tiger to hit in this inning. 3 walks, a bunt single, a ground out, a caught stealing. That's been it. So they score a run without leaving the infield.
And you mentioned it earlier, Pam, the walks for Rochard are so low this year. She came into this game with just 55 walks in the 201 innings that she has pitched, and now 4 walks in here just the first 2 innings.
This is the 30th pitch of the inning for Rochard. Got her. That's twice that Clark has struck out swinging, but Rochard had to throw 30 pitches. A run crosses the plate. Clemson up 1 after 2.
congratulations. This is something special that will be in our trophy case forever. And like I told you when you came to Clemson, you're going to be pioneers and we're going to make history. Nobody knew we were going to make history this quick, but you guys are very deserving of this. So come on up, everybody. Let's get a picture with it. Congratulations.
Well, a celebration on Wednesday in Louisville, and yes, John Rittman did it. Second season for them playing the COVID-shortened season last year, and the regular season champions. They clinched the last weekend of the season against Syracuse, and that's just got to be a very special moment. As Coach mentioned, a lot of these kids came a year or two before they knew they could play. They bought into it, and they have a beautiful new stadium, and they're way ahead of schedule.
And Coach Rittman tips his cap to the administration for adding the sport the right way, getting a beautiful stadium, making sure they were fully funded, and time to create the foundation of a winning program. So as Coach Rittman came on campus, he actually went around the community and spoke at every club meeting in town, just finding a way to drum up interest and awareness for the softball team that would be taking the field in 2020.
Darby Troll, the number 9 hitter, starting things off for Tech in the top of the third.
So Coach Rittman was announced back in 2017, knowing that they would not begin play until 2020, which gave him 2 full seasons to be able to bring athletes on campus, acclimate his program. He didn't have to add them right away. He gave himself an opportunity to find the right athletes to fill the needs at the school. He said, we had a January preseason camp back in 2020 with a home run derby for the fans.
Herrera on her knees, able to flip over to get Troll.
And at that home run derby, they actually had a practice first. Before the home run derby, he was going to send the athletes back inside to grab a little bit of something to eat before they came back out for that home run derby. And during that time, he took a glance outside the stadium. The home run derby was not supposed to start for another hour and a half. And there was already a line, a quarter of a mile long, of fans trying to get into the stadium. And so he said, it was amazing to me to see the kind of support that we were able to garner so early on. We had such a successful 2020 season that we sold out of our season tickets in just 2 weeks.
They had standing room only last year when they were allowed to have full capacity. And there's already been some rumblings that they're going to need to add some more seats to that new stadium. And that's something I've noticed in the before times when we would be allowed to go out to softball stadiums. Like you go to a place like Oklahoma and they are going to get a new stadium. They could probably triple or quadruple the capacity and still sell every ticket. A lot of these stadiums were built with just simply not enough seats. Now, granted, the popularity of softball has exploded, but sometimes you go into these stadiums and you're like, okay, where are the rest of the seats?
Definitely, and Oklahoma is probably that one stadium that you're like, where should we put everyone? UCLA, another one of those perennial powerhouses that just don't have a lot of seating. And Pam, right now, the vertical elevation of this zone has just played to the dividends of the success in the circle for Valerie Cagle. The pitch right before this one, down in the dirt, you saw Kelsey Brown go after it, and then this one up in the eyes. It is so hard with a change of plane pitcher to be able to be successful, but you have to have a lot more plate discipline to be able to attack a hitter that is throwing outside the zone like Cagle is doing.
Cagle has struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters she has faced. She's retired 7 straight Hokies. Stranded a couple of runners in the first inning, and the ACC Freshman and Player of the Year starting to look like it after a little bit of a slow start. And then Fagan up at bat. This is what she did yesterday. That's a triple.
Not only does she have power, but she has speed as well. She comes from that very athletic family.
But that's hit right at Matamore. Another quick inning for Cagle. Clemson up 1. Welcome back to Louisville. This is a semifinal and a dream pitching matchup between Rochard, who is the pitcher of the year, Cagle, the player and freshman of the year. And there you see their totals now as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rochard really scuffling a bit in that last 2nd inning where she gave up 3 walks and a run crossed the plate.
Now, when it comes down to these pitchers in the circle, you don't expect to see their pitch counts this high, but so far they've been dancing around the zone, maybe missing some pitches here and there. Clemson able to take advantage on a squeeze play, and that's the only run of this game so far.
And we will see Cagle bat 2nd in this inning. Here's Gilstrap, who walked on a nice 8-pitch at bat back in the 1st inning. Rochard threw 30 pitches in the 2nd inning. Already given up 4 walks, her season high 8 against NC State earlier in the season.
This pitch just left big in the zone, but what you see when that comes out of the hand of Rochard is that upspin. So you think it's going to tail up and out of the zone, but it sat flat. Again, same pitch, just a little bit more inside. I mean, those are in the wheelhouse of any solid hitter. Gilstrap has 4 home runs on the year. She has the potential to hit it out of here. Now, the ballpark at Louisville, 200 down the line, 220 to center, but the fences are very tall. It takes a good poke to get it out of this ballpark. Great seating out on the berm. While there is limited capacity in the stands back behind home plate, the berm is wide open, and on a beautiful day in Louisville, what a great activity to be able to come out and watch some great softball.
Lifted in the air, coming in Brown for the first out. And here comes Cagle, 71 degrees, by the way, right now in Louisville. Gorgeous. Perfect day to watch great softball. After this, we have Duke, Florida State for you in the other semifinal. Cagle popped out to short her first time up. You talked about her as a pitcher, but as a hitter, oh my goodness, look at this.
She's amazing. I mean, honestly, there's no other word for it. She hit 376 last year, 418, leads the team this year. Just amazing numbers.
And she's a freshman. I mean,
well, I'm going to call her a returning freshman. That
yes.
was what you called him yesterday, and I really appreciated that term because she doesn't step on campus brand new, and this is not her very first season. She did have that abbreviated first year to work out some of the kinks.
Yeah, she played 27 games last year, and the kinks didn't stay around for long. She hit 376 with 10 home runs in those 27 games. And just a world of talent, man.
Definitely. She's amazing. So while the team is number 1 in the ACC in on-base percentage, she's number 3 herself in those standings. While the team is number 1 in RBI in ACC standings, she's number 4. And while the team is number 1 in runs, Clark is also number 1 in runs scored. So a very valuable piece of this Clemson lineup. She's a difference maker on both sides of the ball.
And a 3-1 pitch, got a hold of it, sending it into right field, and it is gone. Cagle just clears the fence on a 3-1 pitch, her 15th of the season.
So what do you do when your day in the circle starts off a little rough? How about you give yourself a 2-run cushion? Cagle at the plate has been so amazing, and that's why you see her as the player of the year in the ACC. Clemson is second in the conference in home runs. Cagle just hit her 15th home run. That's the team's 62nd home run on the season.
Just talked about how good she is offensively, and she cleared that tall fence out in right field. Lombarda, the DP, hitting behind her. And the thing about Cagle, now she's a Virginia kid from Yorktown, Virginia, originally committed to the University of Delaware in the Colonial Athletic Association in Newark, upstate. There was a coaching change, so she reopened the recruiting process and ended up at Clemson. Can you imagine if she was at Delaware? With all due respect to the CAA, I mean, Cagle, I can't imagine.
I'm going to say Rochard's national number 1 strikeout number might be challenged a little bit more if she was at Delaware, knowing that there would be quite a few more strikeouts perhaps in that conference.
John Rittman talked about how his staff saw her play. They got an email that she was available, and they saw Cagle play, got her on campus, and Cagle's one of those athletes who wanted to be part of a program, a building program, getting in on the ground floor. And can you imagine, as Lombarda strikes out, a better player to start a program with than Valerie Cagle? I mean, she's your player of the year and a great pitcher as well.
And it's because of her performance at the plate that it gives her her player of the year numbers, or gives her that player of the year nod. But then as a freshman, being able to do it in her first complete season.
That's pounded, but foul. Almost found the street out there. Ogaleo also has power. Cagle hitting that home run off the pitcher of the year in the league, Keely Rochard. Rochard ahead 0-2. And got her on the leg.
They're actually going to keep her at the plate, saying that she moved into that pitch. So the rule is you do not have to attempt to get out of the way, but the home plate umpire Brown said that she moved into that one, but I don't think it matters, Pam. This ball is clearly in the batter's box. And they give her first base. That one did not need to go to replay. It was just a conference between the umpires, so I don't think Rittman loses that challenge, knowing that there are only 2 for each of the head coaches in the first 6 innings. So check out where Logaleo is in the box. She does not move over the plate or into the river. She holds her ground, and the knee does come forward, but she does not move into the river. With that, the ball is clearly in the batter's box, and because of that, the other umpires confer, give her the award of first base.
And hit by pitch calls are one of the 14 plays that are reviewable. That throw goes into center field, but is backed up nicely. Ogaleo takes a base.
Logaleo has been so good on the base pass. She has been able to get on via the free pass both times and advance to second base on a stolen base in each the second and now the third inning.
Scored Clemson's first run on the squeeze play back in the second inning. She has 2 of their 3 stolen bases, and we get to see Valerie Kegel's power.
Man, inside part of the plate, gets it over those tall fence out there in Louisville. A home run. Great hit, gives them the 2-0 lead.
It is tomorrow. This is the most wonderful time of the year, right, Jen? We got Championship Saturday, buddy, and then Sunday is Selection Sunday. We will see you tomorrow at noon Eastern Time on ESPN for the ACC Championship, then switch over to ESPN2 for the American, the Big 12, and the SEC in order. And then 9 o'clock Sunday night is the Selection Show.
Yeah, ACC being able to pull in that top billing on ESPN at noon. A fun outcome. And the thing that's crazy is we've seen an upset in round 1 with that win of Georgia Tech over Syracuse, but ever since then, the higher seed has taken the game in each of the rest of the matchups.
And that was a mild upset. It was an 8-9 matchup. We have the top 4 seeds going through. Clemson, the regular season champs, the number 1 seed. Florida State, a rare number 2 seed. And they will be taking on Duke, who with the number 3 seed, their first ACC championship win yesterday in their 3rd try.
Well, and the thing that's elevated this league is the new kids on the block. Duke just in their 4th year of competition, and now Clemson just in their 1st year of competition. They step in and give that powerhouse Florida State a run for their money. They did not win the regular season championship. Had not been done in 6 years.
Beaten on the ground by Milius. Nice throw across the diamond to start off the top of the 4th inning. Bigham, nice play over there at third base. The Furman grad transfer. Valerie Kegel in the circle, just hit a home run to double her team's lead over Virginia Tech. Jamie Bailey was the first strikeout victim of Kegel back in the 1st.
And she was not a fan of that first strike. I don't think I would have been as a hitter either. Down, low in the zone, under my knees and under my hands. That's a tough spot to be able to get to. First called strike of the at-bat.
Jamie Bailey, a sophomore from Scott Depot, West Virginia. Terrific freshman year in 2019. True freshman year when she was first team All-ACC. Bailey coming back from a foot injury, had an ankle that had been bothering her, but head coach Pete DeMoore says that she seems to be back.
Yeah, not just bothering her, Pam. She dislocated it and compound fractured it. I was her coach at the time with the Beverly Bandits in travel ball. It was an ugly injury, but she is one of the grittiest players I've ever been around.
71-mile-per-hour pitch got Bailey for the 2nd out.
Yeah, this is not the kind of outing that I'm used to seeing Jamie Bailey give, but they've exposed that drop down and in. She does not like that pitch. She's going to need to move up in the box to be able to attack that drop ball before that late sharp break.
2 away for Kelsey Bennett, who grounded out to end the 1st inning. Virginia Tech stranded 2. Had an infield single and a walk to start things off, and then Kegel got locked in.
Well, I'm actually surprised that these Virginia Tech hitters are not moving up in the box. Knowing that Kegel is filling the bottom of the zone, you've got to move up to be able to get that ball a little bit higher. It just continues. It continues to fall off the table the further back on the plate that it gets. And so to be able to attack a pitcher like Kegel, move up in the box. She is a power pitcher, so it'll get on you a little bit more quickly, but you want to catch it before it falls off the table.
Boy, Kegel has not allowed a ball out of the infield in this game.
I tell you what, Clemson is feeling good. Cagle in the circle has settled down, gave him an opportunity with the squeeze with the win, and then the big home run gives him the 2-0 lead.
ACC Softball Championship rolls on. Semifinal number 2 coming up next here on the ACC Network between Florida State and Duke. And then the championship game tomorrow at noon Eastern on ESPN. Florida State with multiple championships. So the Dukies already in the stands here, and here's the Seminoles. Florida State has absolutely owned the ACC tournament. Clemson up 2-0 in this semi as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Grace Matamore, the first baseman, had the squeeze back in the 2nd inning that scored Logaleo with the first run of the game.
And one of the things that you see out of these hitters for Clemson, very low in their legs, keep a very solid base. And when we talked with Coach Ritten about how he coaches his hitters, he said, you know, when my hitters come in, I just want to make sure that we have really good timing, that we create good sequences, and we work on pitch selection. He doesn't want to make hitters cookie cutters of what his style would be. He says we just want to work on having good torque, great sequences, and put those swings on really good pitches.
Rochard gets one to even up the count at 2 apiece. Coach Rittman, well known to softball fans, had a wonderful run at Stanford. 2-time Pac-10 Coach of the Year. Took his team to a couple of Women College World Series, the first of which, Jessica Mendoza was the star on that 2001 team that got to the World Series. She could hit a little bit.
Oh, she was so hard to get out. Coach Rittman was her coach while she was at Stanford. Then he moved over to Kansas and was actually with Team USA for 10 years with Coach Candrea as they led the national team into those Olympics. Gold medals, silver medal in the last one. Excited to see what Tokyo will bring this summer.
2-2 pitch to Matamore. Matamore, a mid-year transfer from West Point. Yes, she was in the academy, U.S. Army. Broke her finger earlier in the year against Georgia Tech. Coach said it's affected her swing for a while, but it's okay now. Good running catch by Brown, who had to cover some real estate to get Matamore for the first out of the 4th. So Clemson in its 2nd year of competition, the number 1 seed. Here's your number 2 seed. Yes, there are 28 previous ACC championships. Florida State has won 17 of them. The last, including 6 in a row. Even not getting to a final would be a headline. Catherine Sandercock was brilliant. She got the start yesterday. Wailani Alameda, the pitchers just keep on coming. She's had some great pitchers come through, to say the least. Winning the championship in 2018. She had Jessica Burrows, Megan King, Lacey Waldrop before that, and now Sandercock.
Well, and Florida State's a 3-headed monster when it comes to the circle. They've got Sandercock, Arnold, and Watson all able to come in and relieve one another. But Sandercock, that complete game win yesterday.
Bingham gets it under the glove of Rochard, but it's picked up by Green. Low throw handled by Bailey for out number 2. Very different Florida State team this year, not relying on power in the long ball like we're used to seeing in years past. And they've adapted well. They're winning. That's all that matters, right? Doesn't matter how you do it, just keep on winning.
It's right, Pam, but they had a little hiccup at the beginning of the year as they tried to redefine who they were. They were trying to reach those power numbers, but have found themselves more a speedy and manipulative team, using more short game, gap-to-gap power. Not a ton of home runs this year, which is not what they thought they would be either as they entered this season.
And really, the last 27 games now, they've taken off. Finished right behind Clemson in the regular season standings. Here's JoJo Hyatt, who was one of 3 Tigers walked by Rochard back in the second inning. Look forward to seeing Duke play as well. Christina Foreman for them had a 3-run homer yesterday. She's hitting .500 in her last 4 games with 5 home runs. Come on.
Pretty good numbers as you finish out the season and then also come into the championship series for the ACC championship. She was dominant during their last matchup of the season, that NC State regular season matchup that they were able to be completely sweeping NC State.
Here's the 2-1 to Hyatt. Keely Rochard has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet in this game.
As she is near the zone and dancing around it, nipping the corners, but not leaving the ball big. Cagle took advantage of a pitch that was a mistake out of the hand of Rochard.
Just a bit low. Another full count. 82 pitches, only in now 83 pitches, pardon me, now only in the 4th inning. Rochard, a terrific pitcher, ACC Pitcher of the Year. She, along with Cagle, her counterpart, with 25 wins on the season.
Oh, just nipped a little teeny piece of that one. That was a nasty off speed out of the hand of Rochard. So hard to catch. Just stay in your legs, not get caught out on your front side. Oh, great pitch. If only Lauder had held on, and I know that she wanted to, Rochard would have had that next strikeout.
Right into the glove of Green. The first time Rochard has retired the Tigers in order. Clemson up 2-0. Virginia Tech coming to bat in the top of the 5th.
Now let's take a look at our player spotlight, brought to you by New York Life. Valerie Cagle in the circle has been masterful. She had a hiccup in the first inning, but has been able to get 5 strikeouts in this one. And then the exclamation point, that home run that we saw back in the 3rd inning. It's a 2-0 lead, but Cagle definitely the dominant force in this game so far.
Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year. That has never happened in the same season in the history of ACC softball. Cagle, 19 years of age. She's 19. Come on. Wait till she gets some more experience and grows up a little bit. I mean, just to talk about a bright future. She's got a bright present.
That's exactly right. She is a bright present. I like the way you said that. Yeah, no need to look far ahead.
No.
It's postseason time right now. Clemson in their first full season looking to really make some waves in regionals, move their way on to supers. Their RPI sits at 20, but the winner of the ACC championship will get that automatic qualifying bid into the postseason. But check out what Valerie Cagle means to some special fans. There, Jolie Daly, cute little fan. She and her mom, Joanna, have been a long-time Val Cagle fan. And she said, I talked to her mom this morning, Joanna, she said, Little Jolie has been on cloud 9 ever since, and she is still there. But check out the sign. I want to be Val Cagle when I grow up. Well, guess what, Jolie? So do I. Val Cagle has been so good this year, and the future so bright for Clemson with her definitely on staff.
And Cagle, in addition to all of the accolades she has gotten in the ACC, is one of 10 finalists for the USA Softball National Player of the Year, the only ACC player in that mix. And she's a freshman.
It's crazy. I can't even think about how good she's going to be when she's starting out at the top of the league right now.
That's the first ball that's gotten out of the infield for Virginia Tech. Their second hit. Green leads off the fifth with a single.
And it seemed as though Cagle just kind of let this one go. Pitchers have to know where their middle infielders will be able to cover. I think Cagle may have had an opportunity to get this one, but this one comes down in the zone, and and she just hits it right back where it came from, right back up the middle. Textbook hitting, not trying to do too much, but gets Virginia Tech to first without any outs.
Cagle had retired 11 straight Hokies until that single by Green. Now a pinch hitter for Ritter. It's Overitis.
Morgan began her career at Michigan, transferred over back in 2019.
She's from Canton, Michigan.
Yeah, Overitis, a great player. I was able to coach her as well. She was on that same team with Jamie Bailey. She was the shortstop for that squad. But notice she starts close to the plate and backs off. Gives herself an opportunity to have a little bit more barrel over the plate. So she starts with her feet a little closer to home plate, and then as Cagle sets up to throw, the pitch already called, backs off just a little bit to be able to attack the ball with more barrel.
Overitis down 1-2. And strikes out for the first out of the inning.
And this is a tough pitch. Drop ball. Looks to be over the middle of the plate, but that late hard break, and these Virginia Tech hitters sitting at the back of the box are going to have a really hard time catching up to it. Valerie Cagle, one of the top 10 finalists for USA Player of the Year, and actually the only player in the ACC to make that final list.
And you'll see a name you might be familiar with, Hokie fans. Eberly, Carrie Eberly, who is at Oklahoma State, actually was the pitcher of the year back in 2019, the last time that award was given out. And now transferred over to Oklahoma State. See a couple from Arkansas. They were upset early in the SEC tournament by Tennessee. Here's another pinch hitter coming up. It is Meredith Slaw, a sophomore from Warsaw, Virginia. Second straight pinch hitter set up for Tech in this inning. I don't think anybody would be eager to get into a ball game and take swings, but you're like, you want me to go in now against her? Cagle?
I don't know. Put a bat in my hand. I would go in right now myself.
I know you would.
I have no eligibility and haven't for quite some time, but I would love an opportunity to face Cagle. She'd make me look silly, but it'd be fun to stand in there.
Jenny Dalton-Hill still have records that are standing in Arizona, right?
In Arizona, yep.
Many, many years later. Throw down, and they got her! Wow! Hyatt to Pereira to erase Green.
And even with a throw a little bit off, check this out. The second baseman, Pereira, comes over to grab the ball that's a little bit off, recognizing that this is a reviewable play, and she tags her feet. Check that out. According to our replay, I'm going to say that that call is going to stand, but the head coach for Virginia Tech, Pete Diamore, will challenge this one. This is his second challenge on the day. He won't have any left for the rest of the game.
Again, that is an experimental challenge system that's being used in this tournament, as well as the Sun Belt and the SEC. Each coach, as Jenny said, gets 2 challenges, and you don't get one back if you're right. It's 2 and done, and the crew chief can initiate a review starting in the 6th inning, and you have to indicate the use of the challenge before the next pitch. And it didn't take them long to determine that that call was correct.
And I think this one's pretty clear. When you see the tag, it's applied on the feet. The throw is off. Pereira has to get in front of the baseline, come to the ball. He does a really good job of letting the ball travel and just dropping the glove down for that tag. Beautiful play, and the out recorded.
So Green with the leadoff single, and now nobody on with 2 out. Slaw, the pinch hitter, still at the plate. Each team only has 2 hits. One of Clemson's hits was a Cagle home run that padded the lead from 1-0 to 2-0.
And great execution on a ball off the plate to stay alive. Slaw, as a pinch hitter, does not have the additional at-bats that the rest of the lineup has seen. And so she's coming in off of Cagle, fresh off the bench, but staying alive with that 2-2 count.
Lights
I'm
off
trying
another
not to
one.
say battle.
Slaw on the season, 6 of 34. Just her 18th game of the year. This is the 46th game for Tech. Tapper, Cagle has to hurry, gets her. So the single, the first ball that left the infield, erased by the caught stealing. Clemson coming up. Lovely weekend in Louisville, and this is something Clemson's been doing. They get up and they row the boat, Jenny, Dalton Hill.
Well, and I actually think it's pretty cool. It looks neat, don't get me wrong, but kind of a metaphor for what they're trying to do this year. Continue to row the boat the same way. We see a lot of teams that do preseason book reads, and when it comes to Coach Rittman, he is no stranger to the sports psychology way of things. He said coaches have to wear a lot of hats, and that's one of them, to be able to be a sports psychologist as you navigate the ebbs and flows of a really challenging season.
Clemson, the regular season champions, top seed in this ACC championship. And the matchup that we were hoping we would get, Cagle and Rochard. Cagle with a home run as a hitter and has only given up 2 hits. So has Rochard, but Rochard struggling a little bit with her control, has walked 4 batters, hit a batter. It was a squeeze play in the 2nd inning, and then the home run by Cagle on a 3-1 pitch in the 3rd. That's all the offense so far. Top of the order, here's Mackenzie Clark. She got all over that pitch, but it's tracked perfectly by Brown.
Clark, a very aggressive hitter, but Pam, that's the first time she's been able to put the ball in play, as it had a strikeout in each of her first 2 at-bats. So great adjustment, able to step in and be a little bit more productive in that 3rd at-bat. off of Rochard.
Yeah, it looked, as you saw Clark going back into the dugout, she's feeling a little bit better. As you said, finally to get some contact, struck out swinging both times. Gilstrap has walked and popped out. Cagle now on deck for Clemson. There she is, number 72, looming in the back. Wow, that's hit on the nose, but right at Fagan for the second out.
Let's take a look at what Cagle did in her last at bat in the third inning. A pitch left over, belt high, but inside corner, turns on it. Gets really good extension on that one. Out of the park, the second run of the game.
Her 15th home run of the season, now second in the ACC behind Randy Farraker at NC State. Their season ended yesterday. And also, with her up 2-0, Cagle has overtaken Rochard for the best ERA in the ACC. Now, that's a fluid situation. The game's still going on, but they are just two stud pitchers that we're seeing today.
And you know that Cagle is not the kind of player that says, I think I should have swept all the postseason awards, but that's kind of what she's saying with her performance here today as they go head-to-head.
And she did not get Pitcher of the Year. That went to Rochard. Valerie had to settle for Freshman and Player of the Year.
Settle. Nice word.
Yeah, not bad. Got 2 out of 3. No one has ever done that before. And a 3-0 pitch. Rochard being very careful, to say the least, with Cagle. I think that was intentional, to just let her, with 2 outs and nobody on base, just let her take her 60 feet.
I mean, it's the easiest way. We also saw a situation this year where Cagle was walked with bases loaded, and it walked in a run. And so Cagle has a reputation of being a very dangerous hitter with nobody on and 2 outs. Go ahead and put her on. Give yourself an opportunity to attack the next hitter, Gombarda.
Now they're going to give her a chance to get back in the dugout and rest up before she goes out to pitch in the 6th inning.
But check it out. It was against NC State earlier in the year. An intentional walk with bases loaded. You don't see that every day. But Cagle, a dominant hitter. And Coach Jennifer Patrick Swift took the lesser of 2 evils and walked in the run instead of giving Cagle an opportunity to hit.
Opportunity for Gombarda now. She is 0 for 2 today. Howell into pinch run for Cagle over at first. Sarah Howell. Right through the 5-6 hole for a 2-out single. First hit of the day for Gombarda. And just the 3rd hit of the day for Clemson.
Well, and Gombarda is such a great follow-up. She protects Cagle because of the power that she has done a really good job this year of following up Cagle to try to give them an opportunity to put runners in scoring position or actually push them around. Gombarda with RBI power, slugging percentage power, all sitting behind Cagle for Clemson.
And yet another pinch runner. It's Ariel Oda. Made an appearance yesterday as a pinch runner and does so now for Gombarda. Leah Logaleo on base twice with a walk and a hit by pitch. Scored on the squeeze by Matamore that got Clemson on the board first. Logaleo joined Cagle on the all-freshman team. 9 Clemson Tigers were honored with ACC postseason awards. She's down 0-2 to Rochard. Got her on 3 pitches to strand 2. So a walk and a single, but nobody crosses the plate.
Keely Rochard dealing in the circle, but they've got to get some runs.
Clemson, the number 1 seed and the regular season champion, the ACC, has lost 5 games all season long. But they lost those 5 games on just 3 days. The doubleheader they lost to this Virginia Tech team in February. Doubleheader lost to Duke, and then the single game they lost to Syracuse last weekend. The rest of the season, not February 19, March 26, or May 8, they are 41-0 on the season. And they've got a 2-0 lead here at the top of the 6th, Jenny.
Of that loss to Syracuse, coach said it was our worst play of the year. We had 3 errors, and the message after that game was let's flush it. And they really came back ready to play, getting the next 3 after that loss.
Not only did they win the next game, they won it 19-2.
Yeah.
That's I would say pretty definitive.
It's called proving a point, I think.
And that's when they clinch the regular season title. Florida State, the number 2 seed, coming up next against Duke in the other semifinal. But this Virginia Tech team shut down by Valerie Cagle. Just 2 hits, 1 ball sent out of the infield. See the Dukies getting ready to play. We've already had a shot at Florida State. Florida State in their uniforms out there watching. Duke going to do the late change. There are the Seminoles.
Just taking it easy, kicking up your feet. You see all the zip ties on the chairs. We've noticed those all around the country as COVID has created those distance rules, and so they zip tie the chairs so fans can't sit in them.
Cagle with a 4-pitch walk to the number 9 hitter, Trull, to start the 6th inning. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern, it's must-see TV. It's Packer and Durham with all the latest news and information from around the ACC. Every weekday morning, check it out on the ESPN app and the ACC network. This past week, they had one of my favorite guests ever.
Who's that?
Dabo Sweeney. No, they had Jenny Dalton Hill. I mean, come on, Jenny. That's pretty awesome, right? Your husband was jealous.
He was. He said, wait, I love that show.
That was only the second walk, given up by Cagle in the first since the first inning.
Well, you mentioned Dabo Sweeney. He is going to be on there later this week. And Dabo Sweeney was actually at the first home game for Clemson when they played in the stadium. Wonder if they'll be able to get him to talk a little softball.
Yeah, he's a big softball fan. I saw him at other games as well, even before Clemson had a team. And here's an opportunity now. Virginia Tech gets the leadoff runner on. It's actually the 3rd time they have done that. Did it in the last inning, but Green was thrown out trying to steal. In the top of the order, and Kelsey Brown.
Well, and because of the shortstop Gilstrap being pulled over into that 5-6 hole, it'll be a coverage by the second baseman on the steal. So what that tells you is her coverage over at first base is going to be really hard because she's got to shade up the middle to be able to cover on the steal. So if you drop a bunt, it's hard to cover.
But instead, Cagle strikes her out. Second time she's gotten Brown swinging.
Yeah, that was a really unique swing. As a slapper, you want to stay on top, and she recognized that ball coming up in the zone. She actually hopped to try to get on top of it. An unconventional swing, but another strikeout for Cagle.
Cameron Fagan's turn to try to solve Cagle. Walked in one of her 2 appearances. I would guess that hopping is not an optimal option when you're trying to hit a softball, especially when Cagle's throwing it.
Well, and you're moving towards the ball. I mean, a slapper has such a unique set of skills. I'm constantly in awe of the challenges that they face and are successful against.
Fances the runner, but the second out. It's Fagan thrown out by Pereira. Troll now at second with 2 away for Milius.
And look at this. It's a slow developing play over on the right side of the field, but as a second baseman, she recognized that the runner behind her, Troll, would already advance. So for the second out, she just goes to first. Pam, I don't know where that one was. That looked like a really good pitch.
Cam Fagan in the dugout. Now Milius down 1-2. Cagle, easy play, ends the inning. Cami Pereira had 1 home run all season until yesterday. Blake Nelman pitching so well for Georgia Tech, but Pereira went deep once. She couldn't do it again, could she? Yes, she could. How about that? 2 home runs, and that's the entire offense for Clemson yesterday. The 2 solo shots by the unlikely doctor-to-be, Cami Pereira. And she's going to lead off this bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, does not have a hit in this game, but those 2 big hits yesterday, 2 solo shots, were the only runs yesterday. And today, only 2 runs again. We usually see Clemson putting more runs up on the board, but that's a testament to what Rochard has been able to do in the circle against them.
Yeah, Nelman yesterday in her previous game before that, Nelman pitched a no-hitter. So some really good pitchers in this league. We're seeing 2 of the best in Rochard and Cagle today. That's a nifty play down there by Bailey to retire Pereira.
I cannot say it enough. Jamie Bailey is a complete player. Check this out. Line drive down the line, is able to play off the line because of that quick lateral movement that she's got.
That's the hot corner when a lefty's up, and she played that really well. Mattamore now. Yeah, this Clemson team, you talked about their offense. They're hitting over 300 on the season coming in. First in the ACC in slugging percentage, on-base percentage, runs driven in, total bases. And yet they only have 4 runs in almost 2 complete games in this championship. Now, granted, again, I mean, Rochard good, but they scored. See, they're averaging about a third of what they have on the season through these first 2 games. They had a squeeze play in the 2nd inning, and then the home run by Cagle in the 3rd, and that's it.
Well, and you mentioned, Pam, that they lead the league in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and runs scored, but they also lead in RBI. So where is that production? Well, I tell you what, runs are at a premium as you head down the stretch in the postseason. Will this be a hiccup for them that they take personally, or will they be able to combat it and not let their heart rate elevate in these pressure situations?
Brown grabs it to retire Mattamore for out number 2. Here is Cagle, your freshman and player of the year. Getting ready to come out in the 7th. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for Virginia Tech. Bailey, Bennett, and Green. Bailey has struck out twice. The cleanup hitter for Virginia Tech, finding it difficult. They've just hit one ball out of the infield all day against Cagle. And Virginia Tech, 3rd in the league in batting average, just at .295, pardon me. So they're kind of right behind Clemson in a lot of offensive statistics. But just having trouble solving Valerie Cagle. That's another base hit. Casey Bigham gets on with 2 away.
Well, we mentioned how Clemson leads in RBI and slugging percentage. Well, sitting right behind them in the 2 slot is Virginia Tech. But here, a sharply hit ground ball in the 5-6 hole, knowing that you don't have to do too much right now. Just string base hits together. Really good piece of hitting to push that one into the outfield.
Hit number 4 for Clemson. 3 of them have been singles. And then the Cagle home run. Number 9 hitter, JoJo Hyatt. Rochard going over the 100 pitch mark in this inning.
Well, and one of the things that we talked about in the open was both of these teams would need to play error-free defense, and that's what we've seen today. No errors on it. There was that Cameron Fagan mix-up over at third base on the squeeze play, but it went down as a hit.
Brown ends the inning. Cagle 3 outs away from her team advancing to tomorrow's final. Oh my goodness, Valerie Cagle showing everybody why she was the player of the year along with freshman of the year with her performance in the circle, shutting out Virginia Tech on just 2 hits so far today.
She has been so good, has been dishing all around the plate. She's got 7 strikeouts in this matchup, trying to prove a point against the pitcher of the year, Keely Rochard, on the other side of the field. Using that changeup, drop ball, and rise ball. And it's not a rise ball. I mean, it's a fastball that hits spots. The fastball has a lot of down movement. Throws the rise ball with a little bit of an off speed. She's a tough pitcher in the circle to come at, knowing that the speed's never going to be consistent, and it just continues to have that late hard break down in the zone.
Cagle also with a home run, helping her cause. Last chance for Virginia Tech. Bailey struck out twice swinging. Virginia Tech, by the way, has only been shut out once all season. That was back on March 13th. When they got run ruled 8-0 by NC State in Raleigh. Abby Traha was the pitcher for the Pack in that game. And Cagle 1-1 against Virginia Tech during the regular season. Tech took 2 out of 3 when they played way back when in mid-February. 17 of Cagle's outs have been ground outs or strikeouts. 17 of the 18 outs. Also a caught stealing in there. So no fly ball outs.
And that just comes from that heavy drop, that heavy fastball that has that drop spin. Fills the bottom of the zone. It's hard to elevate against that pitch.
First inning was her toughest inning by far. Infield single by Brown to start things off, and a walk to Fagan. Virginia Tech stranded 2 in that inning. Only had 2 base runners since. That's how dominant Cagle has been. Make it 3 base runners since. Bailey with a solid single. This is the 3rd straight inning in which Tech has gotten the leadoff runner on.
Well, and check it out. It's a pitch that behind the plate, JoJo Hyatt actually moved out, asking for that ball to come in over the river. It's a 1-2 count, and so Cagle had some room to play with. You want that ball a little bit more off the plate, but as it finds the corner, Bailey just hits it right back up the middle.
First pitch swinging. Bennett gets it. Play to the shortstop, and they pull off the double play, the 6-4-3. So on one pitch, there goes the threat. Gilstrap to Pereira to Matamore.
And check it out, textbook. Hit it right at the shortstop. A little flip over to second base. So Gilstrap to Pereira. An easy little turn, touch and go. Out of the base, gets herself out of the baseline. 6-4-3 double play.
You could see Bennett's face as soon as she hit it. She knew that that was not going to end well. It's all up now to Addie Green. Valerie Cagle on the season has 10 shutouts. Gets the call.
Nice spot.
Looks like Cagle could finish this game off under 100 pitches thrown as well. Threw 20 of those pitches in the first inning.
It was almost like there were little butterflies in the first inning with that first hit of the game by Kelsey Brown and the walk given up right after. It just took some time to rein in those emotions and really come back strong.
Chopper handled by Gilstrap, but not handled by Matamore. Couldn't keep it in her glove, so the game continues.
And we've talked about it all game and actually praised both of these teams for playing error-free defense, but that right there, a high hopper, charging hard across the infield. Gilstrap gives that pitch, but a little bit too far of a stretch for Matamore as Green heads down the line.
So waiting for the official scorer to make a ruling on that play. Meanwhile, another pinch hitter, Grace Chavez. Swings at the first pitch, and now it's ended. Valerie Cagle shutting out Virginia Tech, and now her conference-leading 26th win of the year, outdueling Keely Rochard to get the Tigers into the championship game.
What a performance by Valerie Cagle, and don't get me wrong, that's what we expect. But in their first year as a program with a full season under their belt, they are now advancing to the championship game. Amazing performance by Clemson. And they just sat on the back of Cagle. How did they score their runs? Well, Clemson, back in the second inning, was able to execute a squeeze play. It was off the bat of Grace Matamore. Little Miscue by Grace Fagan at third base. That was the first one, but then Valerie Cagle with the exclamation point. Pitch on the inside part of the plate. Huge home run. Barely cleared the fence, but remember, these fences are very high here in Louisville. That was the second run of the game, and that's all they would need to be able to get themselves to the championship game.
3-hit shutout for Cagle. The 3 hits for Virginia Tech tie their fewest of the season. And yes, Clemson will play the winner of our game coming up next, Florida State and Duke. Cagle with the home run. So she produced a run and gave up none in the circle. Hokies shut out for only the second time this year. We will see you for Duke and Florida State coming up soon. But first, we'll get you back to the studio for Jenny Dalton-Hill. I'm Pam Ward. We'll see you soon for more great softball.